Hey guys, this is Tauna. Today we're talking about Duskmourn and a theory that was brought to me that I think might be interesting to you guys, if you guys agree with it or not. I'm going to go through why I think this, and you guys might, let me know down in the comments if you agree with me or if you think that I'm going bonkers here. So Duskmourn obviously is coming out in September later this year. I am very excited about it, and if you guys want to know more about it, make sure you do subscribe. Make sure that you head on down and like the video and share it around and stuff. I'm trying to get onto Wizards of the Coast radar at the moment to try and be able to bring things to you guys early, maybe get some early reveals or something awesome. I don't know, let me know what you guys think anyway. So we're going to be talking about this because in fall, so this is in Bloomburrow, when Bloomburrow happens, we are going to be seeing the rotation of Streets of New Capenna. New Capenna is going to be leaving us, and thus a lot of support for kind of tricolor stuff, whether it's the kind of, the actual Triomes will be leaving, which is a shame for, leaving Standard, as well as the fact that we will also lose the special kind of sack lands. And these sack lands are really, really nice. I love them. The Triomes are still seeing use within some standard decks, and we're mostly talking about this in regards to standard. Obviously, if you're playing commander and stuff, you're still going to be able to get them and everything, and they're still going to be viable, while in standard they are going to be dropping out of the format. Looking at actual Streets of New Capenna, this was a very tri-colored set. This was a shard colored, so it was, the three that were right next to each other. So, we had the Brokers, Obscura down there that is obscured by me, the Maestros, we got Riveteers, and then we got Cavaretti. So those were like the 5 crime families, and each of them all had like a special keyword that would go alongside it, a special gameplay mechanic, and therefore, when you drafted them, if you got them, then you were able to kind of work together with them. Interesting thing is that this was around when this set came out. It was around 2 years after Ikoria, Lair of Behemoths came out, which also had the Triomes tied into it. So this was rotated out September 2021, and then not long after that was when we got Streets of New Capenna, about 6 months after that. And around 2 years between the two, and that had the original kind of cycle of Triomes there with, the 5 different Triomes for each of the actual Triomes, and which is why they, called Triomes. That was similarly a enemy colored themed, so that was the wedges, so 2 next to each other and then 1 the opposite of it. And that was basically, how the set kind of worked. Now, there wasn't as much kind of, tricolor support within the set, but, there was some, and then, you had the actual Triomes in there as well. And all of those are going to be dropping from the meta soon, dropping from standard. This is all, a callback to kind of Shards of Alara, which was the original tricolored set with, Bant, Esper, Grixis, Jund, and Naya, where they get their names from, and we're going to be referring to them as those names there. So, however, looking here at the Planeswalker's Guide to Duskmon, this was shown not long after the actual initial reveal of Duskmon, and each of them, what they're referring to here and what we're kind of looking at is a few different of the creatures that they showed, as well as this part up here, which says the house can be loosely categorized into 5 different zones. 5 different zones, and each with their own temperament and characteristics, and they're not hard limits, there are connections between them. This is very similar to, say, Alara, which was 5 separate, 5 different shards after the Sundering, and each of those was very separate and had, different architecture and different people living there and stuff. Or, having a look at Streets of New Capenna, 5 different families. I think this is more going to be similar to Ikoria, though, where there's the 5 different Triomes and, there's crossovers between them. They're not all kind of at war with each other as much. There's crossover between them, similar to kind of like that, where there's like going to be, tricolor support and stuff between them, but not necessarily like a full kind of tricolor set. Or it could be a full tricolor set, who knows? All right, so looking at the 5 different rooms, you can see, we'll start here with the Mistmoors, because I think this one's the most kind of obvious for it, right? when they kind of show art from different rooms, or sorry, different, not rooms, rooms is a separate thing, different lands and stuff, typically the way they do it is that the colors of the lands are within the actual art, right? Or, you know, at least they have to kind of draw back to that. And if you have a look at this one with the Mistmores, you can very clearly see, you know, the blue kind of thundery stuff outside. You've got the light pouring in, the nice white light pouring in, as well as these shadows everywhere. If you also look at, like, so as a comparison, like look at Rafine's Tower or the contaminated landscape. You know, you've got all the oil and water and stuff kind of mixing, the blue and black kind of mixing here, and then you've got like the white light up the back. Similar here, you know, the white. Look at how similar this is. The Rafine's Tower, similar to that, right? Next, we've got the Flood Pits, which is another room there, and they said, you know, the gravity is all funky there, and like the laws of physics are all funky and stuff. And you can see again, look at all the bright green. You've got the white light kind of streaming in. The blue, like, is so obvious here. Compare it to like the tranquil landscape here with the white and blue, and like, look, they're screaming out the colors here, right? The Bale Merc here. You've got the blue, you've got black, you've got a whole bunch of red as well. Compare that to like Xander's Lounge. Look at the colors there. The colors there are so similar. Looking at the Seething Landscape as well, very similar as well. The demons here are Grixis, right? Like Grixis, like, so to kind of reinforce it, they specifically talked about demons existing and a whole bunch of demonic stuff. And, you know, demons are very black and stuff, but they are also very Grixis, similar to like how pirates are Grixis and stuff. You know, the specifically talking about like when the Warhammer 40k decks came out, there was a whole bunch of kind of demons kind of built around kind of Grixis and stuff. So that to me kind of reinforces the idea here of it being like, you know, tricolor or tricolor crossover. The Boil Bilges here. Look at how fiery red this is, right? From memory, Jund is very primarily red aligned with black and green as its secondary colors. So having a look here, you know, you've got the red, fiery freaking landscape. You've got the black shadows within the light, and, you know, and then you've got the green kind of the moths and creatures and stuff kind of living within here. And, you know, this flame looks alive. You know, comparing the colors to the Twisted Landscape or the Zayatora's Proving Ground, very, very similar. And then they've got the Razorkin, which is what they said is home within the Boil Bilges. If you look at Jund creatures, like, this is screaming, right? To me, at least, this is screaming a Jund kind of creature. Compare the kind of art here to like Zayatora or Marika or, you know, that kind of thing. This is, to me at least, kind of very much a very Jund looking art style. We've got the Hauntwoods here. So this, to me at least, you know, you've got the white up there, you've got the like the red as well, like, you know, the white light and stuff going around, like the red flames within here. You've got the red kind of going here. I am 95% sure that Naya is green aligned. Yep, green primary, and this is very kind of green primary, right? Like all the trees and stuff, the foundation, like there's the supports for the building and stuff like that, all growing into stuff. You've got, you know, comparing it to like Jetmir's Garden. Look at that. Jetmir's Garden literally has like, you know, overgrown kind of building house stuff. This is exactly like that. We've got Sheltering Landscape here as well. Not quite so much, you know, you've got the kind of red mountainscape, you've got the forest and the light up there. Looking at it as well, like so far the white creatures that they've shown, very kind of, at least to me, very similar to kind of like Jetmir and stuff, kind of creating tokens, going wide, kind of Naya tokens, which my friend who is probably watching these videos having an absolute cackle because that is such a me deck. And, you know, if these guys end up being Naya, I'll go hard into them. And, you know, they said about how the beasties are a big thing within here, and the art for the beasties as well, shown within a whole bunch of kind of plants and growing everything. Now, the last room here, they actually mentioned about a sixth room, which is the Bellow. not the bellow. You know, this one here, obviously kind of on the side there, it's kind of like the kind of thing to kind of tie it all together and where the bad guy kind of lives and stuff. But they do talk about, you know, there being 5 kind of primary rooms. So the other thing here is you're probably questioning as to why I thought that it would be these ally kind of style aligned colors as opposed to an opposite version, because the most recent one that we had was the most recent kind of tri-colored set we had was Streets of New Capenna, and you know, New Capenna is kind of those allied colors and stuff. You're probably questioning as to why I don't think that. At the end of the year, at the start of next year, Q2, we've got Return to Tarkir. Right? Return to Tarkir being a new set that will be coming along. And obviously, you know, within the original Khans of Tarkir, they were a 3-colored set, right? You had Abzan, you had Jeskai, Sultai, Mardu, and then Tima as like the 3-color based set. So to me, at least, you know, it would make sense that if they wanted to put out some tricolor stuff, which looking at all of the art they've shown and looking at the fact that there's, you know, 5 different rooms, etc., 3-colored stuff. To me, at least, you know, they could put some 3-color stuff in here, not necessarily as a full set, though a full set wouldn't surprise me, and then, you know, kind of finish the cycle or continue on the cycles with Return to Tarkir, where, you know, we come across Abzan with, you know, it's meant to combine a mixture between the Khans of Tarkir stuff and the Dragons of Tarkir stuff. So, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if we kind of see that. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think. I might be crazy here, but who knows? Have a great day and goodbye.